We're live. BDP talks football. How you doing, man? Big game today.
Yeah, this is the game that I've been waiting for after the last two games. After
I,
being up on the Raiders and being up on the
yeah,
Redskins,
I
this is
wanna
the
I
game
wanna
that we're waiting
start
for.
with a question for you
Shoot.
because I'm going back and forth with this in my head as to how this is a big game for the Buffalo Bills, right? In terms of winning the division, in terms of them still possibly getting the number one seed and getting a bye in the AFC. It's a I think it's a big game for the Eagles just in terms of the way the season has gone, right? Like I think we all want to see the offense play well. But we're basically what, like 99% sure we're locked into the number 3 seed,
Mm.
right? To get the number 2 seed, we have to win our final two. The Bears have to lose their final two. So, and that maybe gives us one more home game. In terms of who we play, we have no idea. San Francisco, Seattle, LA, Packers, like they're all kind of right. Who knows, right? It could shift a lot in the last two games. We've had injuries this year, right? We've got Lane Johnson, Jalen Carter, and they're maybe coming back. I feel like this is more of a game where the Bills are going to be more locked in. Like how do you feel in terms of what the Eagles are going to put out there? Are they going to maybe rest anybody a little bit? Like if they get down, 21-3 in the second half, do they
Oh, then
pull
they're done.
Jalen
Then they're done.
Hurts?
Then they're done.
You know what I mean? But like, you know what I mean? So then I'm wondering like how much this game matters if we lose because I don't know how much we're going after. Does that make sense? Like, what do you think about what the Eagles might be trying to juggle with these last two games as well?
Well, I think
Because
this
in
is
the end,
a
you can also get rusty too, but rest is important
yeah.
at the end of the season.
I think this is a game because the last time we saw competition, we lost. The last two times we saw real competition, the team lost. If they get down 21-3, then dude, I'm concerned.
I hear you. I hear you.
You know,
Fair point.
if we get down 21-3 and we're at the point where it's like, all right, guys, let's just pack it in. We have the Commanders next week. We're gonna, we should beat the Commanders. Even see now, this is the thing, CDS. I would try to win today, and I would treat next week as my bye. I
Yeah, I
I
get that.
I,
That makes
I
sense.
definitely wouldn't.
I think,
Uh,
yeah.
um,
The,
I
the,
mean,
the
I'm
reason,
sure they're gonna put like Carter on like a snap count. I'm sure they're gonna
well,
put some of these guys that
that's
are just
what got me thinking about this
yeah,
originally, Ben, was Lane Johnson and Jalen Carter.
yeah.
Like after the last game, it was announced, oh, they're back. Not oh, they're definitely playing, but they're back and that they could be playing this game. And I was kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we really? I realize they should get time because game speed and getting your legs back and all of that. But I'm like, do they really need to come back for the Bills?
Yeah, I think it could be. Well, I would put Lane Johnson. I would pick one of these two next games to sit,
Yeah.
and especially that neither the Commanders or the Bills have any type of pass rush that's scary. If he was going up head to head against, maybe a Miles Garrett. Or,
Yeah.
or, or a Micah or like a prime Von Miller, then I'd be like, maybe
Or yeah.
this isn't the time to come back.
Future
Defense,
Eagle Max Crosby.
yeah, and the Bills' defense isn't like a threatening, scary defense. You hear them all the time talk about it. Oh, if Josh Allen had a better defense, they
Yeah.
we hear this type
Yeah,
of
and he also
jargon all
has
the time.
yeah. Can I just say one quick thing on that point?
Yeah,
Because it's interesting because obviously the other thing besides he has no defense is he has no help.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know if anyone noticed, but they have two games left, and this guy you might have heard of him by the name of James Cook
mm,
has fewer than 200 yards to go to hit 2,000. So
yeah,
I don't know about you, but a running back who's closing in on 2,000 yards can be very helpful to your
yeah,
quarterback.
yeah.
That sounds like help to me,
Yeah, it sounds like a weapon to me. It sounds like a
right?
weapon that they usually use to take away credit from a certain quarterback that we both know.
Mm-hmm.
But again, these aren't world beater defenses, or that I would be too concerned about. As far as Lane Johnson coming back, Jalen Carter, I think he's just going to be on a pitch count, whether it's both
Yeah.
games, whether it's just this game. But I would much rather come out today and build up off of last week's game, where we just out physical the Commanders, and I just want to see
Right.
them get physical again. If they're pretty sure that we're the 3 seed, we're not going to fall to the 4 seed. We like the matchup that we have with the 3 seed. We have really nothing really to
Well, yeah,
gain with
that's what I mean.
getting the
We're
2 seed.
basically locked in at 3.
Then
Like,
at this point, at this case, um, I would probably maybe just preseason it and then just go by how we feel. So if the first half we're rolling, we're doing our thing, then you have the choice. Do we rest our guys, or do we just let them close it out and then we just mail it in next week, or do we just go half at a time, play it by ear, or 3 quarters and then sit everybody in the fourth quarter? So
right.
there's many ways to go about it, but after a couple bye weeks, I want to see us kind of at least have a nice test against the
Yeah.
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, and to be fair, I just want to put again one thing in context, and I think we talked about this, but this goes back to what you were saying. Was it last week or the week before when you were like when you went off on the whole quarterback thing and how you're like tired of what they say about each, even though you had criticisms as well, legitimately, but you
Yeah,
kind of were like, yo, you know what? No, I give up on that because I'm tired of hearing all this stuff about Jalen Hurts when I see what these
yeah.
other guys are doing, and
Yeah, dude.
he was
Imagine
getting
Jalen Hurts sitting out a game for a back bruise. Like, imagine
yeah,
that, dude. Like,
yeah,
imagine this
yeah,
guy getting tackled, getting a knee in his back, and saying my spinal,
yeah.
like Mike Tyson, and
Yeah.
just sitting out, dude. It's
Um,
it's insane, dude. The
yeah.
amount of excuses that they give this fucking loser over there in Baltimore because he has fucking grills in his mouth and cornrows on his hair is
Well,
absolutely ridiculous.
it's crazy that you say that because that's a whole nother topic. I want to get this one thing
Yeah.
quick, but to that point, I think that plays into partly what we get out of the media that praises Lamar Jackson and disses and dismisses Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts isn't the right kind
Mm.
of quarterback in that respect, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't. He's not. Anyway, but just real quick, and I think I rolled this off to you before, but we didn't have this other game. Jalen Hurts in the offense was getting dismissed because it was the Raiders, right? And one thing I mentioned was okay, the Broncos beat the Raiders twice. They beat them by a touchdown. They beat them by a field goal. The Jaguars, playoff team, maybe number 1 seed, beat them by a point. Bears, number 2 seed, maybe number 2 seed, beat the Raiders by a point. The Raiders beat the Patriots, who could be the number 1 seed. And then to add that, last week the Texans, who we saw what they just did against the Chargers, the Texans beat the Raiders by 2 points, but the Eagles beat them 31-0. So I'm
Yeah.
just saying, yeah, it's the Raiders, but all these other playoff teams who have better records than the Eagles, even
Dude, I
everything
still
was within
still haven't
a
gotten over
couple of
that
points.
Broncos loss. That's the game that we should have won.
Yes, well, and the first Giants game. Come on,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we actually could easily be 12 and
yeah.
3. Although I will say, if I'm going to be legit, I will say 11-4 because you could also say,
The
we
Rams
kind of
game.
got a little bit of lucky with the Rams game. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And
But
to one of them,
That Broncos game was like it's like the Eagles season in a nutshell. Come out nice,
yes.
hot, rolling,
Well,
and
second
then
Cowboys game as well,
yes, yeah, it's the same game. It's the same game. We just
right?
had a bigger lead
So
in the Cowboys
actually,
game.
I could bump it up one more win
Yeah,
too, because if you're going to say, oh, maybe we don't deserve the Rams game, but we did the opposite against
yeah,
the
Cowboys.
Cowboys, we should have
Yeah,
got one of them. And one thing I want to add to this, because I'm curious of what
shoot.
you thought about. Did you catch any of the Texans Chargers game or no? Did
I
you see
caught
any or highlights even?
I caught some of it in sequential
Okay,
order. No,
because
but I did catch a good amount of it.
right, because after
I caught enough to
again,
have the thought like, damn, Justin Herbert, another overrated quarterback. I caught enough of that.
and that's the point I want. That's the point I want to make because after that, again, I saw a whole lot of stuff on social media talking about how he's just like the Josh Allen stuff. Justin was
Yeah, I
amazing.
caught
He's the
enough of
best
that.
quarterback in the NFL. He's an MVP candidate, and on and on and on. And and like one of the thing they mentioned was the same thing. He has no help, and they showed the one interception, which was his receiver that going over the middle, like the 1 yard line,
Yep.
and it hits it, goes through his hands, pops up, and it's intercepted. And those of us who are objective, we can watch that and say, like, you can watch it and say, yeah, you know what, man, NFL receiver, you got to catch that. However, to say that is not the quarterback's fault with a bad pass is absurd because you got a guy going left to right across the middle, open with no one in front of him, and you
Oh
throw
yeah.
it behind him and above him instead of putting it right in here, leading him a little bit
Now
in here.
that
That's
was
a bad
early enough in the game where I did watch that all in sequential order.
Okay. I mean,
It's funny
but
because the play
people are
before,
blaming.
dude, it's funny because the play before they're glazing him like, oh my gosh, what a great ball by Justin Herbert. And then the very next play,
He
they throw
does,
the
yeah.
interception.
But and
And then
then
it's,
after
oh,
though they're
blah, blah,
saying that
blah. Yeah.
after all the Justin Glazers are saying that was completely on the receiver. Justin has no help. That was
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, in the NFL, like I get it, man. For me to throw that ball exactly where he did, it would be most amazing pass ever.
Yeah.
But for an NFL quarterback, that is a bad pass that leads to the receiver trying to make which is a tough catch because he also threw it 100 miles an hour. Um, that should not have been above his head, and it should have been in front of him.
Now
He's going left to right. That's a
now
bad pass, my man.
let me say this because
And again, if Jalen Hurts threw it, was the point I was making, right? If Jalen Hurts threw it,
yeah.
it would all be about how bad a pass that was.
Let
He's
me let me
inaccurate.
let me also make this point because I had the Justin Herbert's overrated thought, but then I also had the dude. This guy, like you're looking at his hand and you're listening to how they're talking about his hand, and like it's just
Yes.
dangling there. But I also had this thought. It's like, how crazy is it? Justin Herbert did whatever the fuck it took to get his ass on that field. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson's
Yeah.
sitting out because he has
Lamar
a back
Jackson.
brace.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? Maybe. Well, see, this goes back to what we were saying offline, and we were actually talking about. Well, yeah, we're talking about athletes in general. We were talking about the NBA at the time, but the money and the guaranteed money, right? I was going to say maybe that might have backfired with Lamar Jackson because we saw what Baltimore just did
Yeah,
without him.
yeah, oh yeah,
But
yeah,
somebody's going to take Lamar and pay that money, right? So what
yeah,
does Lamar care? That's the thing, right?
yeah.
That's the problem that you run
It,
into.
it's
Someone's going to give him a
yeah.
chance.
See, it pisses me off more because because you see guys like Justin Herbert. Yeah, I could say whatever I want about Justin Herbert, but the fact that he got on the field is something that you can't say about Lamar. Because this is actually
Yeah.
this is the second time earlier in the season against the Chiefs he quit in the middle of the game, and then
Yes.
last game he quit, and then he sat out yesterday against the Packers. So this is a trend of
He's
Lamar
got a
Jackson.
he's got a lot of LeBron
Yeah,
James in him.
he's got a track record of this. But I'm also comparing it to dude. I watched McNabb play with broken ribs. Like I
Yeah.
watched this guy play with broken ribs. I watched Steve McNair play with a broken body, Brett Favre broken hand. Like I've seen these guys play busted, bruised, broken,
Dude.
battered.
Oh,
And
and
Lamar Jackson woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and he can't
lots of
play.
these guys play with tough
Even
injuries. I
Eli
mean,
Manning, dude. Eli Manning's a tough son of a you know what,
yeah.
and
I mean,
Lamar Jackson
I
can't.
can't take that away from these guys.
Yeah,
There was one
Lamar, throw the ball then, Lamar. Throw the ball then.
who was what's his name? Now, like I don't remember this, but
You
I know
can't
the
throw the
story
ball, Lamar.
after
That's the
was
thing. You can't throw the ball, Lamar, because if you could throw the damn ball, you say, you know what? I'm not going to run as much. I'm going to stick it out in the pocket, and I'm just going to deliver the pass where it needs to be.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm done on
Yo,
him.
one thing I wanted to say to be clear, because see, this is the situation that they put us in. Is I'm not really attacking Justin. Like that was a bad pass, but I'm
Yeah.
not attacking
You're
Justin.
critiquing the
It's more
media.
that yeah,
The double
exactly. They're
standard. Yep.
putting
No, I
us
hear you.
in the situation of going. It's the same thing like with Jalen Hurts. People say, "Oh, you never say anything critical." That's like I don't have time because of the narrative about him in the media. We There's so much nonsense. If people were honest about him, all quarterbacks have strengths and weaknesses, right? I mean,
Mhm.
but like we don't even have time to address Jalen's, and I don't feel like I need to because I'm so sick of all the crap that
Yeah.
like Howard Eskin, and I did a video on it, and it's not the first time he did. Whenever Jalen Hurts has a great game by QB rating, Howard Eskin, the moron that he is, goes and
Dismisses it.
dismisses it. It's a terrible stat. It doesn't mean anything. On one video, he actually said, "Oh, QB rating, it's just a gauge." And I'm like, "Yo, Howie, dumbass.
Oh,
All statistics in and of themselves are just gauges. That's exactly what statistics are, you fool." And he went on this nonsense about, I bet Dan Marino's never thrown only 15 passes in a game and all. First of all, Jalen was 12 of 15 with 3 touchdowns, and Dallas Goedert dropped the easiest touchdown in the world. So you're really 13 of 15 and 4 TDs. So I went and looked, by the way, and Dan Marino did have some 15 pass attempt games, and he was really, really bad. One of them, he was like 6 of 15 for 71 yards and 2 interceptions in a game. But, it's that type of stuff because it's nonstop. So
Mm,
it's like you don't even have time to say, hey, Jalen could work on this. I did before the media went crazy, right? Like before Jalen was going to the Super Bowl all the time, he wasn't getting all this hate. And we
mm.
could say, yeah, no, this is the thing he has to work on. And this is and he does work on it, man. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. But
Yeah,
just so sick of the narrative crap.
yeah. Just going back to the first thing that you brought up, another reason why I think this game is important because this is a true Buffalo Bills run team. And I
Yeah.
want to see us stop the run. I do want to see this team stop the run after the
Yeah.
Bears did what they
Yeah.
wanted on
I was
us.
just thinking that.
After the
Bears.
Cowboys, they in the second half they kind of did what they wanted on us. I want to
Yep.
see this team stop the run on a consistent basis, like they did against the Lions, like they did against the Packers. Just show it to me against the Buffalo
Yeah.
Bills. Just show it to
And to
me.
that point, that is also where I think the de- the defense has been hurt a little bit with Jalen Carter out
Mhm.
in the middle, right? I
Yep.
mean, he's a big, strong body in the middle, and yeah, Brandon Graham is outperforming what any of us thought,
Yeah.
but he's also doing it playing out of position from a defensive tackle position. And yeah, he's getting to the quarterback, which is unusual but Brandon Graham is not exactly a big
Run
defensive
stopper.
tackle where
Yeah.
he's going to stop the
Yeah.
run by
He's not taking
just
on the,
you
the
know
nose and
yeah
the and
yeah
the, and the, and the guard
he's not
2 on
pushing the
1.
nose back
Yeah.
into the
Yep.
running back. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
So I think that's hurt a little. Now, how effective can Jalen Carter be when he gets back? I don't know. I mean, he never. And they're talking about it being his shoulders. That's a problem with
Yeah.
a defensive tackle.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
the
you
thing
need
that you
that
saw
strength.
with like a Vince Wilfork, he might not be visually as dominant as he was, but he's gonna get 2 people on him. I mean,
Yeah,
he might
yeah.
not be able to
Well,
shed them like
he'll clog the middle. He may not
exactly,
make the
exactly,
play, but
exactly,
he's not going to get
exactly.
pushed
Just by
backwards.
being there, he'll free up
Yeah,
Jalen Phillips. He'll free up
exactly.
Jordan Davis. He'll free up. Uh,
He'll free up a linebacker who
is
can plug
Nolan
the
Smith
hole.
healthy?
I
Where's he?
don't.
Where's he been? I feel like I haven't seen him in a
He got
while.
hurt last game.
Okay, okay,
But then we
okay,
were hearing it's not real serious. But then I haven't heard that he's been cleared to definitely play. I
okay,
didn't check the injury report this
okay.
morning. I know he had been held out of practice, but I also heard, but it might be just precautionary because they're like, again, they're locked in pretty much to the 3
Yeah.
seed. So they might be like, we don't really need to push it.
So hopefully he'll help those guys. Cause
But
I have
yeah,
noticed that once Carter went down, Phillips hasn't been nearly as effective. That
yeah,
I have seen.
yeah, and that
I mean, it's
is
expected, but it's just
well, that's it
when you
for
notice it glaringly, it's needs to be spoken
sane
about.
people. That's normal.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like people love to talk about, oh, Jalen Hurts. He's better when they have a running game. Well, no shit, all quarterbacks are. You know what I mean? Like he's better when he's got good wide receivers. Well, yeah, all quarterbacks are. Like but that's your point. Like that's just it. When you have a defensive tackle
Oh, Lane Johnson's out
takes up
today.
space in
They
the
ruled him
middle
out.
and needs attention, your edge rushers are going to be better.
They ruled Lane Johnson and N'Kobe Dean both out.
Okay. I thought I had heard Lane was out, and I still wasn't sure about Jalen Carter.
Yeah, no, nothing. No news on Jalen Carter. But yeah, Lane Johnson is a no go. All right,
But
all right.
yeah, the big things I want to see is like to your point is stopping the run from our defense, stopping the run, and obviously, I mean it's tough to control, but but based on what's happened the last couple of weeks, I really would like to see them limit Josh Allen as a runner, not have him
Yeah,
with some
yeah,
big broken plays. And then offensively, I just want to see it to continue to evolve. I want to see play calls that are an improvement and sequences too, not just like, oh, that was a great play, but then, okay, that was a great play, but what does it also set up going forward? You know what I mean? Those play
yeah.
sequences. It's not always just about that call at that time, it's about what comes after it that is able to be effective because of that call at that time. You know what I mean?
Well, defensively, I I think we match up really well with this team defensively because their main other than James Cook running the ball, their main passing threat is a tight end, and we have linebackers that can run with the best of the tight
Yeah,
ends. As far as
true.
Keon Coleman goes, and Gabe Davis and Cooks and Shakir, I'm not worried about any of their receivers getting off on
Right,
Mitchell. I even feel pretty good about Adoree Jackson against these guys. But when we look at Kincaid against the Bonds, Kincaid against the Coop, Kincaid against the even a Jahad Campbell, when we look at even Spencer Hall is against one of our linebackers, I feel very confident that Fangio is going to. I see a lot of man. I see a lot of man and a lot of spy. A lot of man and
yeah.
a lot of
Well,
spy. I don't really
and
see Josh Allen getting off. I think he might try to get off. I think he's gonna
see,
get. I think he's gonna feel wood a lot today when
to
he
that
runs.
point,
He's gonna get
that's
he's gonna get hit
that's
hard.
where the pass rushing is going to have to be disciplined with his lanes, right? Because good running quarterbacks, when they break big runs off broken plays, it's almost always against man because
Yeah,
that's when they have all that space. And the other, they're all paying attention to the receivers they're covering. By the time they realize the quarterback's running, he's 15, 20 yards downfield. So, you're going to play a lot of man. You have to
yeah.
be
I'm well.
the front
I'm
four.
yeah. I'm joining that with a spy. I mean, I'm gonna spy him all. I'm gonna spy him all game because that's what I'm saying. Either our safeties could go one on one against the tight ends, and we spy him with a Zach Bond, or our linebackers go man with the tight end, and we spy him with like a Blankenship. Josh, like the wide receivers don't concern me enough to where I need to try to, make sure we
Right,
get the first 15 covered and the back 10 covered and,
right,
post routes because it's really just Kincaid, Spencer Hawes, and then running the football with Cook. Keon Coleman is a fucking shitbird. He sits more than he plays. Brandon Cooks, I mean, they try to sign him to do something, but he's past his prime. Let's just face it. And then
right,
Shakir, he has his good days and his bad days, but he's not nearly consistent enough to where I would even worry about Quinton Mitchell or Dory Jackson on him. I wouldn't even be surprised if Vic Fangio puts Quinton Mitchell on Kincaid a few times to lock him down.
right,
So sort
right,
of like how Rob Gronkowski would sometimes get the number one corner on the opposing team. I wouldn't be
right,
surprised with any of that, which is why I say that we match up well against this team just because they have no real outside threat. It's really just in between the hashes with the tight ends, as far as I see with this Bills team. And I mean, the Bills, dude, they struggled against the Cleveland Browns last
yeah,
week. I'm
yeah,
not going to sit here and be oblivious and say that it's going to be a trend, but you also have to take it.
right,
Well, the Browns don't really have anybody threatening on defense besides Miles Garrett, and Miles Garrett wasn't
yeah.
chasing Josh Allen all over the place last week. Josh
No, no.
Allen just
That is their strength. I mean, the Browns have a solid defense. They don't have, other than Garrett, I don't think they have like names that people think of. Oh, that guy's going for Pro
Denzel
Bowl.
Ward, I think Denzel Ward is the
Yeah,
only other
but
name.
they do have a good defense, and yeah, it's but Josh Allen did not look good. By the way, and to that, we're talking about Bills again. It's not being talked about at all. Okay. And now you might know this because obviously you're paying attention more, but your typical fan, I'm going to guess, wouldn't. I mean, three of the last four games for the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen has thrown for fewer than 200 yards.
Mm, mm.
Now, again, and I hate to constantly be saying this, but here we go, right? Can you imagine if, right? Because we know it happened because he was doing it earlier in the season a few times, and it was a huge, huge deal that everyone was talking about. If Jalen Hurts threw for less than 200 yards three of the last four games, it would be talked about nonstop.
Mm.
Josh Allen has done it. I mean, they've won these games. They've won games, but Josh Allen has not exactly been. He has not. They keep everyone puts him in that top five elite category. He has not been that lately.
Yeah. As far as that goes, um, I watched a good amount of football last week, and it's not like Drake May has tons of guys to throw to either.
No,
But when I'm watching Drake May against the Ravens, I'm like, this guy's just throwing. He's just throwing the right pass. He's got Stephon Diggs, but other than that, I mean, he's just throwing the right pass to the right guy at the right time. He's leading his receivers, making them open. So the pop in Josh Allen's passing game, I haven't seen over the last few weeks that I've seen from Drake May over the last couple weeks.
right. Um, yeah, and one of the things that's really interesting with football that makes it tough too, and I don't say this to delegitimize them because they are 12-3, and they did beat the Bills, but they lost to the Raiders. The Patriots have maybe the easiest schedule in the NFL. Now, again, you can only play who you're scheduled to play, and they go out
Yep.
there and beat them. They're all professional teams. But I'm just saying, it's like look at the Eagles. How difficult. I mean, it's actually amazing. Not only has their schedule been difficult in terms of who they play, I think they led the league with like 4 or 5 um, short week games. And it's the first time in NFL history that the defending champs did not play 2 consecutive games at home the next season. And the NFL, because they play so few games, right? Schedule can impact a team's record so much more than what we see in the NBA or Major League Baseball or the NHL. So it's interesting because here's another one for you since you brought up Drake May. You know who's thrown more touchdown passes than Drake May and fewer interceptions?
Oh,
Jalen Hurts. Shocker.
gee, I didn't know you were going there with that one.
Just a little context, man, because I kept hearing how Drake May is the MVP. He's the MVP this year, man.
Yeah, he looks good, man. He
I'm
definitely
not
looks
saying
good.
he doesn't. I'm
Yeah.
not saying he doesn't. But
Oh yeah. I mean, come on, 25 touchdowns, 8 picks. It's not like he's fucking shit in the bed over here.
no, he's not. Like he's beating up on those bad teams. Who do they have today? The Jets.
Yeah, but it's how is it? How is it? Because I feel like the NFC East, we all pretty much play the same schedule outside of a few
It
games. So what did the Patriots draw that the
well,
Bills
you know what
didn't draw?
it is with. There's always a few exceptions in there,
Uh,
like because the way the NFL does it, and this is what they do this on purpose because the NFL doesn't want great teams. Like the NFL, even more than any other league, is so much about that parity. Like they'd be thrilled, I think, if every team went 9-8 or 8-9. And so
Not good.
divisions usually
That's
you
not
get
good. That's not good. Parity is not good.
no one division will play. Like the NFC East this year played the NFC West, right? But there's also always just a few other games in there that are different.
And the
And
AFC
what'll usually
West and
happen
the AFC
is
West.
yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
actually. And then like the first place team, which of course the Eagles were,
Wiseman, how we doing today, Wiseman? Appreciate you stopping
they
by.
get a more difficult schedule, right?
Okay.
They'll get those games that are a little different. They'll get the more difficult ones. They'll play the higher teams. That and the NFL does that on purpose. So it's like if you're really good, which is why if you look at the teams, shoot, I had it here too. Give me. I'm going to see if I can find the list because this is kind of interesting, and this goes back to how the the how Eagles fans how good we really have it now. Because I was looking at a list of teams with the most wins last year,
Mm.
and it is wild. Let me just take a second and see. I think that I. Oh yeah. Can I read this to you real quick? Most wins last season and then this season. Okay, Chiefs, they won 15 games last year. They're eliminated. The Lions, 15 games, eliminated. The Eagles, 14. They've clinched the NFC East. The Vikings, 14, eliminated. The Bills, 13. They've clinched a playoff spot. The
Wait,
Commanders,
wait, wait.
12,
How many games did the Vikings win last year?
14. The
Man.
Commanders, 12. They've been eliminated. The Ravens, 12, eliminated. So out of one, two, three, four, five, the top 7 teams in terms of wins, they've all been eliminated except the Eagles and the Bills, the 2 teams playing each other, which so one of them's going to get a loss. Isn't that crazy? But that just shows you like what schedule does and how difficult it is for a team to be really good in back-to-back years
Mm.
because you get more difficult schedules. Because again, I mean, think about what Super Bowl number are we at, Ben? I,
You're
I,
asking the
I
wrong
can't.
guy. You're asking the wrong guy.
59, 60, like we're around there, right?
Yeah.
First time ever the defending Super Bowl champs do not have back to back home games the next season at all.
Mm,
That's never happened before.
mm,
I mean, that's nuts, right?
mm.
That makes things difficult.
Yeah.
60, thank you, Wiseman. Appreciate it. Yeah, so 60. I thought we were at there. Yeah, so
Dude,
schedule as the
who is
future
Sam
guy.
Darnold in this era, man? Who is he?
Who is he? You mean like if take a name from a previous
Yeah,
era?
yeah.
He's Trent Dilfer. But he's a little better. He's a little better
Yeah,
path.
dude. Yeah, he's far.
He's
He's a
oh no,
far.
okay, okay.
He might be Jeff
He's
Garcia, dude. He might be a Jeff Garcia.
that okay, Jeff. I think that might be a diss at Jeff though. I think Jeff is
Okay.
better than there. Okay, how about this?
Tony Romo, but
Tony Romo.
dude,
No, he's Joe Flacco. And the reason I say that is because you actually go look at Joe Flacco's career.
yeah, but
And
no, this is my argument
he
with
had
that with
like
Joe
one good
Flacco.
run, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But now this is the thing: is you told me last year the Vikings had 14 wins. This year
Yeah.
he's on the Seahawks, and now the Seahawks are looking pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
hear what
think
you're saying.
Joe Flacco leaves the Ravens, and he's a journeyman for the rest of his life, like being a backup's backup and just getting the starting gig,
Right, right, right.
That's why I'm saying like Jeff Garcia, because Jeff Garcia came to Philly from San Francisco, still looked pretty damn good.
Yeah, Jeff was a good
Uh,
quarterback, man.
uh
I hear what you're saying. Well,
yeah, no, I get that there's a bunch of Jeff Garcias in the league, but I
no,
don't
I
know.
don't think there
Yeah,
are, man.
I don't know, wise
I don't
man.
think there are.
I don't know.
That's what I mean. I think Jeff Garcia is for
Because I was gonna call
people.
Sam Darnold Kirk Cousins, dude. I
People
was this close
that might
calling him Kirk
that
Cousins.
that
Yeah,
might be a good one.
yeah. That's too
Um,
modern though. That's why I didn't say it. Because
yeah, well, yeah, that's true. I
you
got you
know,
were saying trying to go
yeah.
back even further. Um, yeah, well,
Because
it's
it's pretty
interesting.
impressive, dude. Because you just listed off the teams that all shat the bed, and only one of those teams has a different quarterback, and that's Sam Darnold in the Vikings.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But isn't that wild? All those
No.
teams I read off,
It
and
is. No, it
right.
is. But
But
that
yeah, it's
actually
interesting.
piqued
Now
my
you got me
interest,
thinking
man. That piqued my
about
interest
Sam.
right
But
there.
I think I hate saying this because I think a lot of people use this to diss quarterbacks, and I don't mean it that way. I think. I mean, I've always thought Sam was a good quarterback, and he never seemed to get a chance that lasted long enough. He'd have a bad game or two, and then he'd get replaced
Yeah, he still
until
hasn't.
last year with the
He
Vikings.
still hasn't, right?
Right. Well, yeah.
He goes from the Giants to the Panthers to the Vikings, and now he's already on team number 4.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And I think it's like he's in the right situation. Think about it.
Yeah.
He look at what Seattle did for that brief time with Geno Smith, right?
Yeah.
Like Geno, speaking of journeyman, right? Geno was a journeyman for what, a decade,
Mm.
and then he does what he did. And even when Geno was doing that, if you asked me, hey man, who's better? Who do you want if you're starting a team? You want Sam Darnold or Geno Smith? I wouldn't hesitate, and I'd say Sam Darnold, right?
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
Sam's the one replacing Geno. That's going to elevate the Seattle Seahawks. Now, the big question with Sam, and this goes back to now you went more modern. We'll go with your more modern guy, Kirk Cousins. Same type of thing. I feel. What is Sam in the big moments? Right.
Yeah.
He has not been defined by that yet.
Yep. Are they going to throw that interception?
That's what it goes to. That's why when and I'll bring him up again when like people would say stupid stuff like Jalen Hurts, Trent Dilfer won an MVP too. Guys, Trent Dilfer was Trent Dilfer always. Jalen Hurts, y'all can say what you want about him, but when the bigger the moment, the bigger Jalen Hurts has played always, right? And it's you can say what you want, may say he's limited this, he can't do that, but when it's a big game, he's better. And they're just certain athletes that are like that, right? That the juices start flowing, like they live for those moments. I'm going to go way back, and he was kind of even before my time, and so I don't know if a lot of people will get this, but if you're for Philly fans, if Philly fans listen who are also Flyers fans, you may remember, if you're older, a guy named Claude Lemieux,
Mm.
who was he was this guy. If you ever want to take a moment and look up his stats, mediocre regular seasons all the time. Dude comes alive in the playoffs, and all of a sudden he's like makes Wayne Gretzky look ordinary.
Mm.
I mean, literally, and he would do that for multiple seasons. That's big moments, big games. He was like he'd sleepwalk through the regular season, and it's like now it's hockey time. Playoffs are here. I'm
Damn,
awake. I'm ready. Let's
Jimmy
go.
Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
Jalen and Nick Foles, only Eagles quarterbacks to not choke in big moments.
Yeah, truth. Absolutely. Oh man, if Nick could like play big games every game, he'd be a Hall of Famer. And I don't mean him play well. I mean if the games were big, right? Yeah, dude. Don't get me started on Nick Foles. I'll never be able to figure out. Well, when he left Philly, he never got in a good situation. He'd go somewhere and the team's not really good, and then he'd get an injury, and then he'd end up somewhere else. And I felt bad for him, man, because he should have had a better career. But yeah, it's gonna, it'll be interesting to see what Sam does come playoff time.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. No, we'll see. We'll see.
There's
dude, think about it. They got a new quarterback. They got a new head coach.
Dude, the only, I think, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing somebody off the top of my head, but really the only two quarterbacks in the NFC who have proven themselves in big moments, Jalen Hurts and Matt Stafford. And then I think in the AFC this year, the only one will be Josh Allen.
Well, that's why I tell you that's the only team I'm concerned by.
It's the
I
Rams,
tell you
right?
this the only team
Yeah,
I'm
I
concerned
know.
is Matt Stafford and the Rams. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I'm like,
Yeah. Because you're
Ooh,
right.
Brock Purdy, no.
We
No,
could get
not Brock Purdy.
we could get to the playoffs and Sam Darnold could be Jared Goff in the playoffs and throw 5 picks.
That's the thing, because these guys don't take care of the ball like Matt Stafford either.
And I'll tell you what, since we're on it too,
Like, oh no.
I better hear the media get serious with criticism of Josh Allen if he doesn't go to the Super Bowl. Because there's no Lamar Jackson, there's no Patrick Holmes, there's no Joe Burrow.
Josh, you don't need to win it, Josh. You need to at least get there, my friend. You got to get there, bro. You got to get there.
I mean,
it's Pat Mahomes, man. Like if I ever started comparing you to Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, then you've officially fallen off a cliff. But I've always thought that you were better than Lamar. Yeah,
I mean,
this is your dude. If you lose to Drake May in the fucking AFC Championship game, Josh Allen, I might have to jump off the bandwagon, bro, and I might have to. And I'm not saying I'm on the bandwagon, but as far as like a non-Bills fan goes, and an anti-quarterback goes, dude.
I know he's loved in Buffalo, and I know he puts up numbers because we're in a passing era. But Josh Allen, my friend, you are not even close to being the Bills quarterback, because there was a guy named Jim Kelly, and y'all can say what you want about him not having a ring, but how many teams go to 4 straight Super Bowls? And by the way, who knows how much that could have changed if Scott Norwood didn't go wide right by a yard against the Giants in the first one.
That's
right?
No.
Totally different thing.
Yeah.
Josh, you hadn't even been there yet, Josh. I'm just saying. I have nothing against Josh Allen. I think he's a hell of a quarterback. I do. Again, when I criticize, it's more the media about him than it is him.
And that's the thing. I mean, everybody's looking at the AFC, and I mean, bro, you're the guy. If the playoff times comes, you're the guy. You don't want to lose to the Pats when like Drake May's first season stepping on the scene.
Speaking of,
you know what I mean? Like you don't want to already get below Drake May. You got to at least say, dude, I'm better than this guy at least.
That's what I'm. So you've got. That's what's so wild with the
playoffs
this year. You basically got,
dude. Imagine him losing to fucking Bo Nix.
Well, here's what I was just going to say, Ben. I'm glad you brought it up, because here's my next thing. We're talking about Josh Allen, Bo Nix. You know what Bo Nix has done?
Oh shit, dude!
I'll tell you what Bo Nix has done. Listen to this real quick.
I know it's not a quarterback stat, but dude, It's damn near. It's damn near
This,
close to being a quarterback stat.
well, this is not a quarterback stat, but I think it's interesting again
Holy
because of the
shit!
portrayal of the media. We'll go back to Justin and the Chargers.
I got Bo
Bo
Nix right here.
Nix,
He's
Bo Nix has gotten himself a division title before Justin.
before Herbert.
Yeah, think about that.
Wow.
That's what I mean. Like Herbert has,
Wow.
and again, I'm not knocking him. As
No,
good as
stop.
he
Hold on. Hold
is,
on. Hold on. Hold on.
he's
Again.
done
Again.
nothing.
And I don't want to hear any because in my mind I'm saying, well, that's what good coaching gets you. Well, now I don't want to hear it because Herbert's got a good coach.
Yes.
He had a good coach before Harbaugh, but they said, oh, the guy always collapses at the end of the season. Okay, well now you're brought in a new guy. And what has Harbaugh done?
Yeah.
Still hasn't gotten it done.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
so so
Yeah. No. Now you've got a good
maybe
coach who
maybe Coach
also
Harbaugh
can.
needs to go with Colin Kaepernick.
But yeah, I just thought that was wild. Like all the glazing with Justin Herbert, and it's like
Justin Fields to the
Bo Nix has
Chargers.
a division title. How
Justin
long's Justin been around now? Still no division title.
what 5-6 years at this point, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's 28 next season. I think it's
Yeah, 5 years then.
yeah,
Yeah. And again, man. But Sean Payton did say that, man. He said he liked Bo Nix coming out the draft. He goes and he gets the guy that he believes in.
right.
He has Russell Wilson, didn't believe in him clearly. Goes
Yeah.
in the draft, sees Bo Nix. Whether we thought he was a dink and dunker at Oregon, that's not our business. Sean Payton, head coach, he has expertise in the dink and dunk quarterback department,
Oh
and
yeah,
he go found a guy.
yeah,
And look at them.
100%.
They got a solid defense, very solid defense. And they got a quarterback that I can't even say he doesn't turn the ball over because he does 25 touchdowns, 11
Yeah,
picks. It's not like he doesn't turn
but
it over.
he does what his coach
What he's asked to do.
wants him
Yeah,
to
he does what
do,
he's asked to do.
and he does it effectively.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but I'm just thinking it is wild this year when you look at it. Now I know we've talked about before, and I think other people are starting to wake up to it a little bit. One guy who's talked about it, and I hate even mentioning his name because he's so polarizing for other reasons, even when he has a good take. And Jason Whitlock has talked about it as well, that there really aren't a whole lot of great quarterbacks in the NFL right now. But it's just wild because I'm not even going to include Josh Allen yet because he hasn't reached the Super Bowl. You've got Matt Stafford and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, dude, Josh, even McNabb got to a Super Bowl, bro. Like,
Right.
come on. Like,
Yeah,
come on. You got to get there, man.
He was terrible, but he got there.
Yeah, again, but like he failed 4 straight times, and then he finally got there. You know what I mean? Like he failed, came back, failed again, came back, failed again, and then got there.
Speaking of injuries, and because I know you love this guy, and it's a shame with the McNabb situation because otherwise it was a match made in heaven that should have lasted longer. Terrell Owens broke his leg 7 weeks before the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
I'm
dude,
just
like,
saying Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, man, I can't give Lamar Jackson any credit for anything.
No.
Like he loses in the playoffs and he quits on his team. What am I supposed to give him credit for? He can't throw the fucking football.
Yeah.
I mean, even before the season started, we talked about it. I mean, with Rhodes as well. Like, there's a difference between a running quarterback and a quarterback that can run. And I'm never going to look at a running quarterback and say I can win a Super Bowl with that guy.
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson might just be the best running quarterback now, but he's not gonna.
Yeah,
he ain't Michael Vick with the football, dude.
No.
He can't throw a football like Michael Vick can.
Yeah, here's the problem, and this is where I go to. Speaking of another guy who's, it's hard to discuss objectively because of the way the media portrays, and that's Shedeur Sanders. And a good look, he's a rookie. He's barely played. Like, I'm not one of those crazy people that say, oh, I've seen him throw 7 passes. He's played 27 minutes. He's going to be a Hall of Famer or he's going to be terrible. But what I wonder about him is which one of those he's going to be. Because here's the problem with running quarterbacks. And even if they have a live arm, and Sanders does, right? I mean, he can throw the football in terms of physical ability. Whether he can pick apart a defense is a different thing. But is he going to be a guy who is exciting and makes huge plays on, broken plays? Or is he going to learn to be a quarterback? Because those huge plays, as exciting as it is, and as much as it can be like, hey, 3rd and 19, our quarterback drops back and he scrambles for 47 yards. But that's not consistent stuff that's going to win you games consistently and get you Super Bowl titles.
Yeah.
It's just big plays now and then that you can't script, and that's
I know he did a lot. I know he did a lot of running last week. But I think he's closer on the Dak Prescott side of that scale. Like I'm only gonna
He
tuck it
could
and
be.
run. I'm only gonna
He
tuck
could
and
be,
run if
but
I
that's what
need
I'm
to.
saying
Because
because
even in
he
college, he didn't really rely on his legs that much. In Colorado, I don't know
no,
how
but
much you saw in Colorado. He didn't really
he
rely on his
can
legs
he
that much.
obviously he can do it. He's one of those guys, and he does do it. And so that's what I'm wondering. Is which is he going to be?
Mhm.
Um, so it's and I actually thought I think Michael Vick was a lot more for most of his career a running quarterback. I think when he got that second chance later in his
Mhm.
career and came to Philly, he became a little more of a drop back and throw, but damn, I can still run when I need to kind of quarterback.
Yeah,
You know what I
no,
mean? Like
yeah, no,
I think he had two
yeah.
two parts to his career.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it's going to be interesting, man. We got Stafford and Hurts, and then a bunch of these guys that it's like, here's your chance to build a legacy, or at least start to build a legacy, right?
Because I'll tell you this right now, man. If either one of those guys, and I've said this, dude, winning Super Bowls matters, bro. Like it
Yeah, of
matters.
course it
It
does.
matters.
And
If Stafford wins this Super Bowl, he's punched his ticket to the Hall of Fame. He's punched his ticket. If Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl, it would be very hard for you to leave him out, man. Unless he falls off an
yeah,
insane cliff that I don't even know if
right,
it's possible. Like if
right,
dude, now we're talking back to back bowls, getting to 3, winning 2. This is the trajectory that people thought Russell Wilson was going to be on, and Russell Wilson just never got back there.
right,
They floundered the opportunity, just never got back there. If he would have won
yeah,
that second bowl, he would have been a Hall of Famer. But he lost that second Super Bowl. So all the stats that he
yeah.
put up after the Legion of Boom in Seattle, it's nice, it's pretty. It doesn't mean he didn't win. He didn't win anything.
Dude, and to be fair, and I hate to say this as a huge Birds fan, but the two teams Jalen Hurts has taken to the Super Bowl, yeah, they had good, even great defenses, I should say, but they weren't the Legion of Boom in
Yeah.
its prime. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that may very well be true, Wiseman. I mean, again, I will say Harbaugh is a heck of a coach, but
Yeah, but now here's the thing. Sean Payton
Sean
won the Super
Payton,
Bowl.
yeah,
Harbaugh lost.
yeah, yeah, in the 18th century.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but and he
And he
did it.
Joe Flacco.
He did it play in the way that he's having Bo Nix play. To be fair, no,
Yeah.
sorry, Drew Brees, but you were a dink and dunk kind of guy,
Yeah. No,
uh,
I think you're right.
effectively,
I think you're right.
effectively. But
Right,
you know
Wiseman.
that's.
Let me let me just pull it up real quick.
But we've got. I mean, think about it. Okay, you've got in the NFC.
I don't know, Wiseman. Vrabel's a pretty damn good head coach, but
Yeah,
he's
Vrabel
not
is,
Super Bowl proven. He's not Super Bowl proven.
and he hasn't been around as long as a
Yeah.
head coach either, as Sean Payton. But look in the NFC, you've got these guys that we keep hearing are gonna be or are Jordan Love. I keep hearing about
Yeah.
how great he is this year. They're talking about Jordan Love's better than Jalen Hurts. They all
Well,
keep saying,
now here we go. You ready for this? If you look at the NFC, dude, and you look at the head coaches, you got yes, you have McVay and you have Shanahan, but other than Nick Sirianni, think about this. Think about this. Other than Nick Sirianni, all these other head coaches are considered guru head coaches, quarterback
yeah,
whispering head
yeah,
coaches. Oh,
yeah,
let's bring in the guy from I forget where the fuck they got this guy from Seattle from. Oh, let's bring him in. He'll work with the
right,
quarterback, and he's smart with the offense. Caleb Williams guy. Oh, let's bring him in. He loves Caleb Williams. He'll do wonders with the offense. Kyle Shanahan. Oh, Kyle Shanahan. He's the best play caller. He's a genius. Sean McVay. Oh my God, look what Sean McVay has done with Matt Stafford's career. You know what I'm saying? Matt LaFleur. Oh my God, Matt LaFleur. He did it with Aaron Rodgers. Now he's doing it with Jordan Love. Oh my God. And then you got Nick Sirianni.
I, yeah. Yeah, to be fair and all that, you get excited. Out of all those you're yapping about, I would like to see
Oh shit.
what Kyle Shanahan would do with Jalen Hurts.
Oh, dude, it's
But
crazy
I want to see
because
it in Philly. I don't want.
yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. But it's crazy because other than
Yeah,
Sirianni,
that's funny.
all these
Yeah,
guys were treated like
yeah,
the best date you could get on prom night. Other than Nick Sirianni, all these guys were treated like the prom
yeah.
queen. And here comes
Right,
rugged Nick Sirianni with all of his flaws, and he's got a lot of flaws.
A lot of
Saying,
flaws.
dude, I don't give a fuck.
It's wild,
One day
actually.
I'm gonna curse out the fans.
It is wild that he's had the success he's had when you think about it. Like
Dude,
I can't
he's
figure it out.
Philadelphia, man. Whether people like it or not, he embodies a lot of the culture in this part of the world, man. A lot of it. Whether it's
Yeah,
Philadelphia, whether it's the New Jersey grit, the New York grit, like he encompasses a lot of it.
yeah. Speaking of, oh man, I don't know if I really
Like
want to
none of
get
these
into this.
guys are CDS. Hold on. None of these guys are walking around New York, man. You know what I'm saying? Sean McVay, he's not walking around New York. Shanahan,
Yeah,
they're not walking around in the cold Philly weather. They're not doing that. Sirianni's like, dude, just give me a hoodie. Just give me a hoodie and I'm walking, I'm getting a fucking beer. Shout
yeah.
out to
Yeah, it's funny when you said that and you're talking about Philly and stuff. It just hit me. I'm like, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole
oh, shoot.
about this guy because the whole thing is insane. But um, when you said that, I was just thinking,
Seriously, Wiseman.
damn,
Seriously.
DJ Metcalf was smart to not try and punch a Philly fan.
Yeah. Like, dude, you know what? And I don't want to jump to a different sport. Oh yeah, dude. I don't want to jump to this different sport. Nick got a little dog in him. I will say this to that
That
point,
is
dude.
true. That
I
is
will
true. He
I
does.
will say this to that point, dude. The 76ers needed a coach more like Sirianni and less like Doc Rivers. Not a pretty boy like Doc
Yes.
Rivers coming from
Yes. A
LA,
hundred
coming to,
percent.
like you need a
100%. Yes.
you need an old school
Yeah.
Jeff Van Gundy to come, like somebody
Yeah.
rugged and rough. Not pretty boy Doc Rivers.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny you said that because to that point, just real quick, because I know is since you brought up the Sixers, what I would have loved to have seen, I don't know that he ever would have done it. And superstars are rarely great coaches, but they can be, like,
Yeah.
say, a Larry Bird. Again, because of the roots, because of his dad and everything, I would have loved, you know, if he had been around. Unfortunately, he's not. Is to Kobe Bryant eventually come back to the NBA and be the head coach of the Sixers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that would have been interesting to me because of what you just said. Because he has that.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
has that dog.
Yeah.
He has that mentality that Philly would love, and he's
Yeah.
a Philly guy,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Like certain places need a coach that you can look at and
like
be like, all
yeah,
right, man. I might not like his style, but I know like when I walk
but
by him in
that's
the
yeah,
street, I'm looking at
yeah.
another guy just like me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the same with players. It's funny, like
Yeah.
we were talking before we came on with what the Raiders did, shutting down Max Crosby and talking about surgery. And Max is like, "Look at me, I'm playing ball. I'm on a trampoline. I don't need surgery.
Yeah.
You clowns. I want to play
Yeah.
football."
Mhm.
And what he said after the Eagles game about it was the
The
first time he
fans.
had
Yeah.
played in Philly, and yeah, about the fans and the environment and how much he loved it. And it's that same type of thing, right? There's a very specific type of athlete that thrives in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And apparently Max is one of those. And
Yeah.
that is one of the things where Philly loses out on free agents at time because those free agents, as good as they are soft and they've heard certain things and they just don't think they could make it in Philadelphia. I mean, that's what it comes down to. They're not going to put it that way, and then you have other athletes who are like, Philly, hell yeah, Philly.
Yeah.
That's what
You know what? That has to be a this era type thing. Well,
maybe
see,
probably even more so than it
yeah,
used to be, but it's always
because
been there a
I'm
little
even
bit.
comparing it to the two teams. I mean, the only free agent that either of our teams have gotten, and I'm going to baseball here, it's been Bryce Harper. Outside of Bryce Harper, I mean, what Garrett Cole? I mean, great pitcher, but but Garrett Cole's not fucking Juan Soto re-signed with the Yankees. Juan Soto went to the fucking Mets because he couldn't handle. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like I get like the
Yeah.
Knicks. Like Knicks haven't gotten any big free agent of fucking Jalen Brunson. Like
Yeah.
what are you guys talking about? Paul George? Oh my god! Like you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the newer age guys haven't really decided to play in this environment. You know,
They're
they
they're all
really
kind
haven't.
of they're it's the participation trophy
Yeah,
era, man.
yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah.
a lot of softness out there,
I mean, dude, the
unfortunately.
Yankees are missing every fucking free agent possible. I mean, everybody. Dude, you
Well,
guys at least re-signed Kyle Schwarber. We haven't even
I
re-signed
was just
Cody
going to
Bellinger
say that.
yet.
I mean, it sounds strange because it was here, but like, yeah, that's our big free agent
Yeah,
signing, and that's
dude,
what
our big free agent signing is Trent Grisham. Trent Grisham. Oh, fucking goodness. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad over here.
But and another one. I just going back to what we said. We went completely somewhere else when I brought up Jordan Love, but this is where we are in the playoffs. We've got Hurts and we've got Stafford, and then we've got these younger guys that are not proven, but we keep hearing, well, we're going to see what Sam Darnold brings. I keep hearing that Jordan Love is a top 5 NFL quarterback. I've heard that from multiple media people. And, Caleb Williams.
I will say
Caleb,
this, just
now
as you
look,
brought it.
he
Hold on,
he's,
hold on,
he
hold
was the
on, hold
number
on.
1 seed, man.
Yes, I will say this, dude, because I've been very critical of Caleb Williams. You've watched Django Unchained, right?
Yeah, it's been. I mean, it's basically when it
Yeah,
came out, so it's been a while, man.
The Leonardo DiCaprio. You've had my
Yeah, yeah.
curiosity. Now you have my dude. Caleb Williams.
Right.
He had my curiosity, dude. Now he's got my attention.
Yeah.
Now he's got my attention. I do want to see
Well,
again.
again,
It matters what you do in the playoffs, man. It matters
I
what you do in the
wondered
playoffs.
about his head. Like that was the guy where you could see
Yeah.
he has all the physical tools.
Yeah,
But I was
and
like,
then
I don't know. I don't know if he's got it up
yeah,
here, man.
and then you got
And
the
I don't mean up
same.
here that he can't read the game, but I mean just he's
He's too busy worrying about his fucking fingernails and painting his
exactly,
toes. And I hear you.
exactly.
I hear you. And then on the other side, man, you got Trevor Lawrence sneaking in here. Now, I haven't watched a lot of Jaguars games. I've watched much
Dude,
more Bears than
I've
Jaguars games. But he's
Trevor Lawrence.
he's
Go
he
ahead. You
he
say
ha-
it first. You brought him up.
he has officially showed up on the BDP radar, and I'll be paying
Yeah.
attention.
All right. Well, and here's what I want to say about him real quick. He
Mhm.
is for me. He's now playing the way everyone expected him to be playing coming out of college,
Because he's in year
which goes 5,
whoa,
6, 5,
oh,
6,
5. I thought it was 4.
5.
I thought it was
Okay.
4, but it could be 5.
But here's my point. Here's my point, Ben, because we've talked about this previously. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, guys, Jordan Love did it. Aaron Rodgers did it. I mean, I say because those are the most obvious ones, but it used to be all quarterbacks coming out of college did it. They sat, they watched, they learned, they were developed in the NFL. Development should not stop when a 21 or 22-year-old quarterback gets out of college.
Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence, and this is why I say congratulations and credit to the Jaguars organization
for not
sticking
firing their
with
coach
him.
either, dude. They were rumbling about firing Liam Cohen halfway in the season.
And for sticking with him, because what they did is, now it's always a risk because you could ruin a quarterback by doing it this way. But they installed him right away, they've just let it. They've had the patience. They've let it go, and I think we're seeing the Trevor Lawrence that everyone expected sooner. But now he could do this another 10 years.
Yeah. No, you're right. It goes to getting off these quarterbacks too fast.
And so many are coming out, Ben, real quick, without throwing a whole lot of passes in college. Either. Like, they're not staying 4 years and throwing however many passes they throw. They're coming out sooner.
Yeah. No, I forget what I was going to say. But absolutely no. Trevor Lawrence is he's on the oh, this is what I was going to say. As much as I am paying attention to the Trevor Lawrence and Caleb Williams, I'm also going to reserve the judgment because I've seen Kyler Murray pop for a year, fall off the face. I've seen Tua pop for a year, fall off the face. So I wanna see these guys sustain success.
Oh, absolutely.
As crazy as it sounds, man. Kirk Cousins, it seemed like he popped for a year, but then he popped the year after that, and then he popped the year after that. It's like, okay, like this guy at least sustains success, and then he goes to Atlanta, and then he's done. Like, I guess he's cooked in Atlanta now. But
the difference, I think, now obviously we won't be able to confirm it for a few years. We'll see what Trevor Lawrence does, but I think the difference to this point between Trevor and say Tua and Kyler Murray and well, I was going to throw out the name Colin Kaepernick, but then we get into a whole nother thing. But again, is their success came much earlier, and then they fell off. Whereas Trevor Lawrence has been out there throwing, learning, and developing. Those guys came in, had a lot of success. Now they're on film, right? We know what kind of league the NFL is. They dissect all this film, they make adjustments, and everyone says, okay, here's what we have to do to stop these quarterbacks. And we found out that those quarterbacks didn't have the skill set or the mentality or whatever it is to then adjust back and say, oh, okay, you took this away, but I'm going to learn how to do this. I'll give you one great example. I'm curious what you think about this because we staying on the development thing and what you had said before about no great quarterbacks is a big thing Can we talk about Philip Rivers for a second, even though it has nothing to do with the Eagles? The man sat on the couch for 5 years, put on 40 pounds, comes in, plays some football, but also what got a lot of attention was the things Philip Rivers was saying pre-snap, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have those kind of quarterbacks
Yeah.
anymore that know
Yep.
everything about the game and know how to set things up and play it and have conversations and communicate
Mm-hmm.
in order to get the defense to do what they want them to do
Yep.
so that something else is open.
It's because it's in between the ears, man. In between the ears.
Exactly. And you don't have those type of players anymore.
Yep. Yep.
That's the big thing. I mean, I could even now I could watch Philip Rivers play quarterback all day, or guys like him, right? Like
Yeah.
Peyton Manning, we talk about Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, who's still playing.
Dude, the
Guys
thing
like
is, a
that.
lot of guys in that era that weren't even good were doing that. Like Matt Ryan was
True.
doing that.
Big difference, right?
Eli
Yeah.
was doing that. Like these guys
Yep.
were just doing it. Like they just like that was part of playing the position.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've taken so much of that away now.
Yep. And to that, one last thing that I'll add, and again, it was pretty much all of them, but one guy, and again, because it was a completely different league, none of the quarterbacks today would survive the 70s or 80s in the way they played defense. But Terry Bradshaw, right? Because you look at the numbers, but it was a different league. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves as a quarterback now. 4 Super Bowl titles in 6 years. But here's the other thing to that point, Ben, which goes to like what we're saying about Philip Rivers and everything. Terry Bradshaw called all his own plays. He was the offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of quarterbacks did that back then. They don't now. Now, sure, they may get, options. Here's play A, and then if the defense shows something else, here's play B that you can switch out of. And you may have option routes on the wide receiver where they're running a slant or a go or whatever it is based on what they see or they say. But these guys are not calling their own games the way quarterbacks did back in the day, and I think that's impressive.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I want to see what because we're at this point right now, and I looked it up, and these guys aren't that much older or younger, depending on what you look at, than Peyton Manning. But I want to see what these guys look like when they have like a decade under their belt.
yeah,
Like Josh Allen, he came in 2018. He's probably the 2018 draft class. Mahomes is 2017. Like I want to see what these guys look like when they got 10 years of service underneath their belt, and are they at the point where they're doing you know what I'm saying, where they're kind of commanding things like that.
yeah. But
Um,
see, that's the thing though, is guys like Peyton Manning, Philip Rivers, Tom
yeah,
Brady, Aaron
yeah,
Rodgers, they
they were
were doing
they
that
were doing
before they
earlier.
were 10
Yeah,
years into the
yeah,
league, is what I'm saying.
yeah. So
I
I
mean, I
want to see what
understand
these
your point.
yeah, I want to see what they
Maybe
look
they
like
will.
if they'll ever get to that. If
Right,
if they'll
right.
get to that point, because the game's changed so much. I mean, even Matt Stafford doesn't do that much. You
No,
know,
that's what I mean. No, none of them
as
do.
far as, and this is actually crazy. Like I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. As far as somebody like, I'm not going to say necessarily doing the moving around of parts like Philip Rivers did, but commanding the line of scrimmage like Philip Rivers did. Like like just listening to his voice, listening to his cadence,
Yeah,
listening to how he projects at the line of scrimmage. Of all those guys, the only person in today's game that I hear him at the line of scrimmage and I perk up a little bit, dude, it's Dak, man. Like Dak at the line, just his projection and his voice is just it's this guy's line of scrimmage. I mean, maybe he's not commanding traffic like Philip Rivers does, but as far as like owning the line of scrimmage, dude, that guy owns that motherfucker, bro. It's kind of crazy.
he owns the line of scrimmage right up until it's a big game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know what I'm saying though, right? Like
I do, but
in
I
terms of
also
like
had to direct it into less
because
of
I
a
hear
compliment.
because Josh Allen Josh Allen talks. You know what I'm saying? Like Philip Rivers wasn't talking, dude. Philip Rivers, he was like, yeah,
No,
he was
he
telling these
commands.
motherfuckers where to go.
He commands. He
Yeah,
knows what he's
yeah,
doing. He's confident
yeah.
in it. He knows what he
Dude,
wants.
let me say something real quick because we haven't talked about this. And since I'm here at the line of scrimmage, talk about commanding. Let me touch on this for the Eagles real quick, CDS, because I've seen this too many weeks in a row, and I just forget to address this. Have you noticed, Wiseman? If you're still in here, Wiseman, I appreciate you commenting in the chat. If you've noticed, man, the guard taps the center every time
Yeah.
before the ball snapped.
Yeah.
Every fucking play,
Yeah.
he's like this, dude. He's like this. He's like this. He's turning back. Well, it's the right guard. So he's turning back,
Yeah.
looking at Jaden, and he's going. I'm like, dude, call fucking hike. What?
Yeah.
Dude, it's not loud in these places. We don't need silent cadences. I'm surprised defenses haven't jumped this shit so much because it's literally every play.
Yeah. Well, here's a couple. Here's a
Taps
couple
Cam
of
Jurgens
problems
on
with
his
that.
fucking back.
There's a couple of problems with that. Yeah, I
Holy
don't.
shit.
I get why it's done at times. I don't like how the Eagles do it. Other teams do it, but they don't do it in that way that makes it look so obvious.
Dude, he's like, he reaches all the way back and slaps him on his back.
There are three problems with it.
Man.
One, like you said, that's so obvious that it makes it easier for defenses to.
And it's never a false slap either. Like it's always like right on cue. It's not a double tap.
And then two, it's done so much more than it should be because we're in shotgun too much. And then three, to add insult to injury in terms of the timing with that is play calls get in so late that Jalen Hurts doesn't get to read a lot of pre-snap defense stuff to the line of scrimmage because they got to get there and snap it right away, which again makes it easier for the defense to time. It's a mess. It's a big disadvantage.
Dude, but even think about this for the guard. Think about this for the lineman, right? So the play call gets in late. They get to the line of scrimmage late. The guard's job is to now call hike. Think about how scrambled they must be from time to time, figuring out whose assignment is who. Dude,
they're rushed.
Exactly. As much as the quarterback needs to read a defense, the line needs to read them too.
Right.
the line, these guys put in tons of time in film. So I'm sure that they see a certain package. They see a linebacker here, a linebacker line up on the outside, this gap, this shadow, whatever the fuck you want to say. And automatically it's wired in here. Okay, this is my assignment. That's his assignment. We double team here. We go to the next level. It's so late. They don't even have time to fucking.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Get their own.
So here, think about this. How many times, like we talk about how the Eagles are like leading the NFL in 3 and out and all this, right? How many times do they get out? They get to the line. Jalen Hurts looks for a second and goes, "Oh crap! If I kill, the second play can destroy this defense." But there's 1 second left on the clock, so I just got to snap the ball.
Yeah,
right. How often does that happen?
And there's no excuse for that because these guys get talked to the whole entire time. Like it now shuts off at like 10 seconds or whatever the fuck it is. They changed it. Like they get spoken to the whole for 30 seconds straight. They get talked to. Wiseman, am I wrong, Wiseman?
Right, but here the point is, it may be that Kevin Patullo is taking right up to that 10-second cutoff to get the play to Jalen, right? Like,
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, dude, you have 30 seconds to talk to him. It's like, Jalen, like, what are you guys talking about? Oh, Jalen, what did you think about that play, Jalen?
He's probably not talking to him right away because he's thinking too much about what the next play is.
That's an issue. And again, dude, I'll say this. I will beat this because it's never going to happen. But hopefully somebody put Patullo's punk ass, because now he's punk ass. Put Kevin Patullo's punk ass in the fucking booth. Just put him in the fucking booth. If it's taking him so long to process what the defense is putting in substitution-wise or where you think you are on the field, please just get in the booth. So sometimes, what's the phrase? You can't see the forest from the trees. Step away from the trees and just look at the forest, man. Wiseman, I hear you, but it's like every play. It's like every time we're in shotgun, he's always just slapping this guy in the back.
We're way too late, and they do. Yeah, it's crazy. And again, it's like, I don't know. I mean, lots of teams use silent counts and stuff like that, but it just seems like with the Eagles, the positioning of the guard and the taps, it just seems so much more obvious.
Because you see him squatting there, and then you see him
stands up completely. He stands up completely.
All right,
and then turns, looks back.
Dude, I don't know why I don't see anybody talk about this. Like, I don't see anybody talk about this.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because that goes through my head all game.
Bad. It's so bad to watch.
And for me, also, speaking of false starts, in another way, is I'm surprised that the guard doesn't get called for one from time to time because of the play clock and the lateness and everything. As soon as he taps, it's being snapped, but he's not set again.
Yeah, true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Um,
So maybe we shouldn't
which,
bring it up
by
because
the
all we're going to hear next year is, dude, they false start every time. Every time
by
he
the way,
taps.
I got to say one other thing because this drove me nuts as a kid. They don't really do it anymore, but it was a Dallas Cowboys thing, and I always thought, why is this not a false start? And
Mm,
I guess I'm sure there are reasons, but back in the day, the Cowboys used to always come up to the line, their offensive line, they'd all get set, and then they all stand up at the same time,
mhm,
straight up, and then go back to being set. And I'm
mm,
like, how is that not a false start?
mm.
How is that not a false start? Like, once a lineman is set, that should be it.
Unless they're audibling. See the
Yeah, but I'm talking
thing.
about the linemen, right? They're
Yeah,
not going in motion and all that
yeah.
other stuff.
The thing is, I
I mean,
think.
dude, Cam Jurgens got a false start called on him because he turned his head to the right to say something to his guard for an assignment.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say, but let me just off of a different topic. We list all these good Philadelphia Eagles players from like the early 2000s when I used to grow up on them. Mark Simonu kicking a field goal came across my timeline the other day, and I was like, dude, we always forget about Mark Simonu talking about these Eagles defenses. We just always forget bringing up this guy's name.
Yeah, I forgot it.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, dude. No. Hopefully we bring the next year. Samalu was cut and now on the Steelers. Yeah. Regardless, this needs to be Kevin Patullo's last year. I know we haven't really talked about that in a couple weeks now, but get Patullo out of here. But also, I'm let's just win. Let's at least look competitive this game. Let's stop their run. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me,
I'm
it's going to
interested.
be the play calling, how the offense looks for me in terms of rhythm too, like we talked about, right? The
Yeah,
plays and what play comes after that, and then the defense they got to stop the run. No big plays
yeah.
from Josh
Saquon,
Allen,
dude, is
big
Saquon
play.
actually going to be Saquon? Like, is this a
Yeah,
blip? Is this just
yeah,
a blip on the radar that he's having a good couple of games because we're
yeah.
going against the
And
Commanders
then
and the
and then
Raiders, or are you actually here to stay, Saquon?
I'm going to throw one thing more in there that we haven't talked about that I kind of want to see. You'll understand why I say kind of, but I hesitate to bring this up because I don't want to get you worked up. But as much as I want to see the offense do well and put points on the board and score touchdowns, I want to see Jake Elliott hit a couple field goals too.
Oh
I
goodness,
want to see him
great.
go at least 2 for 2.
Dude, if this motherfucker misses a field goal
There's
today,
we,
dude, if this guy misses a field goal today, dude, I'm fucking calling Adam Vinatieri and I'm bringing him out of retirement.
dude. It's at this point he's the guy. We're
Dude,
ride or
you
die.
gotta make something. Dude, you gotta make something, man.
Yeah.
You got to make. You know what I would hate, dude? You know what I would fucking hate? On the way for the Eagles Super Bowl run, they went up against the Bears, and the Bears missed the field goal. I don't want to be on the other end of that. As the Bears are making their run and they go up against the Eagles, and we're the one
Oh
that misses
yeah.
a late field goal. I don't want to be that team.
Doink doink doink.
Yeah, I don't want to see that, man. I don't
No.
want to see that.
No. I think
How
I
cold is
think
it in
we
Buffalo? I'm sure.
I think
I'm sure it snowed.
I think we win. I think we win the Super Bowl this season on a 57-yard Jake Elliott field goal at the end of the game. Place your bets, everyone. Man,
I'm not sure how I would find that. I don't want to go all the way to weather.com, but I'll do that for you.
what are you looking for?
The weather
Oh,
and
how cold is it?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I kept having it in my head. I got to check that too today, but I haven't looked. I mean, it's Buffalo, but they're used to it, so they do a pretty good job with their. If it snowed, Jake not kick. Yeah, that might be true. No, I want to see him kick in the snow, man. Jake's got to make a couple field goals.
Yeah, he does. 35 degrees. Warm.
How about 30, 34, 24? How's that? I think that would be a good score.
For today's game,
Yeah,
34-24.
yeah,
We're scoring 34.
yes.
Hmm.
4 touchdowns. Jake Elliott goes 2 for 2. Well, but see, here's the key. We're going to force a couple turnovers, right? So that's going to give us a couple short fields.
34-24.
I'm saying that's what I would like to see.
Okay. What
Like,
do you
because we talk
think?
about
What do you think is going to happen?
what do I think? I I think legitimately for us to play well enough for the offense um, to win this game against the Bills, I think we need to put up at least 24 points.
Yeah, I'm going 24-17 either way.
Something like that. 24-17, 24-20, something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be raining. It's gonna be freezing cold. It's gonna be raining there
But
today.
I do think, especially if we do what we've
Oh,
talked
dude,
about
it's raining over there in
with
Buffalo.
shutting down the run game, if we do that, like we talked about with the secondary and everything, I think we can get a couple of picks off Josh Allen.
This could be interesting, man. This could be Buffalo's
Rain.
run game against our run defense and our
Yeah.
run game against their run defense.
Well, and that's the other thing I want to add then. I didn't bring up, we talked about the run game. I had it in my
Both
head.
quarterbacks can throw for less than 25 attempts. Both quarterbacks.
I want to see at least 30 rushes, and I want to see Tank get at least 10 of them.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Fourth down. No, the tush push is done. By the
Dude,
way,
get
there's
these
another
tush pushes the fuck out of here, man. Stop.
there's another
Stop.
reason that I think Kevin Matula is not very good, because
Stop.
defenses have adjusted and he has not.
Yeah, stop with the tush pushes, man. We're done here.
He hasn't adjusted the tush push.
Yeah, break them out when you need them for this point on. Like, don't just fucking break it out. Because the thing is, CDS, now here you go. You rely on that too much, you can't do the fundamentals right anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
How about just the Jalen Hurts is like what, a 6'1", 225 monster leg quarterback. How about just run a normal quarterback sneak?
Dude,
how
just
about
turn
how
around
about
and hand it
put,
to the running back?
yeah, how about put Saquon and Tank in the backfield and
Yeah.
turn around and
Yeah.
hand it to one of them? I mean,
like, do
come on,
something, guys. Do
there
something.
are a lot of ways to get a yard.
Do something. You guys fucking love Riley Cooper? Pitch it to Riley Cooper on the outside. Like, do something. Holy shit. You guys don't do nothing. Fucking hit Devontae Smith on a reverse. Do something. Get creative.
Dude, I just had a
now.
flash when you said Riley Cooper. Oh my god!
Oh, Riley Cooper. What's his name? What's the guy's name?
Yeah, you
What's
said
his
Riley.
name? Who was I talking about?
I know who you're talking about, and I was like, wait, how did we get to that threw me so
What is
bad.
it? Will
Like,
Shipley.
wait,
Will
what?
Shipley. Will Shipley. Will Shipley.
I'm like, wait, what? Who?
Will Shipley. Give it a Will
Hold on.
Shipley on
Yeah,
reverse.
Wow. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Hey, dude, they both have the long hair, man. What do you want from me?
Yeah, or Devontae Smith on a reverse. I mean, like, do something, man.
Dude, how about this? You ready for this? You ready for this? You ready for this? How about this? How about you throw AJ Brown a fade? Why don't we, dude? What happened to the NFL fades where you're just throwing it in the corner of the end zone? You got 1-on-1, and your guy's going up and getting it over the other. What happened to that play?
I have a guess. I mean, I think this isn't the whole reason, but I think this is part of it. I mean, it is a play that has to be, it's not easy to execute. But don't forget, and I forget how long it's been now, but I still don't think it's been very long, the rule change in the NFL, where as a defender, you didn't used to be able to, I mean, right, you can actually push them out of, you know what I mean? You can push them out.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're jumping for that fade and you're right up in their face defending, but they could just out jump you or whatever, you just grab them around the waist and
push them out. Yeah. Well, you know what?
Carry them out.
Don't be in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, but
be in that the 5 yard box in that corner. Hang in the 5 yard box. Dude, what happened to back shoulder fades? Well, what about that? Yeah. Aaron Rodgers would always throw the perfect back shoulder fade to whatever his wide receiver. Why aren't we throwing those? I will say this: Dallas Goedert has been more involved lately, and I do like that. But
yes, I agree. Well, I think that's what I'm
talking about. Like the fundamentals of just goal line offense, we just got so far away from.
Yeah. Well, a good example we actually did see it was that touchdown to Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
After he dropped the long touchdown.
Yeah.
But there's one of the things, and I
like the plays to Dallas Goedert, dude. Perfect fucking roll out. You got Goddard coming down with you. You hit him on the guys. Like fundamentals work. Sometimes you get too fancy. I mean, Kevin doesn't get fancy enough, but the non-fancy
doesn't get too.
But the non-fancy plays aren't even fundamental. You know what I mean?
Kevin Patullo doesn't get too fancy, but he does get too predictable.
Yeah, yeah,
100%.
brutal.
But
Yeah, so we got that. We got
yeah,
the we
I
got the
mean,
Bills at
and
4. Yep.
maybe it was Nick's influence, but I will say this, and this is why I think Dallas is more involved. I think we're seeing more where the receivers are doing slightly different things now than everyone going 5 yards and sitting down, and that they're clearing out space for Dallas Goddard to work in that 5 to 10 yard range across the field, where the other team's linebackers are not sitting anymore because our receivers have pushed them to different places
Yeah.
on the field.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So
Wiseman. Speaking of Andy Reid, dude, Andy Reid with a running back like Saquon and fucking Tank Bigsby, dude. This guy would the amount of screenplays that we would do, the amount of hitting him out of the backfield that we would do, it would be Brian Westbrook on steroids.
here's speaking of Andy Reid, there are people bringing up that maybe it's time for the Chiefs to move on. They're going to fire Andy Reid.
Dude, these
So how
people are
about
fucking
this?
retarded.
I know, but I'm just going to throw this out there. Andy's getting up there in age. He might want to cut back a little bit. Maybe we bring Andy Reid back to Philly as the offensive coordinator.
Now the reason why that would never work is because people would
I
just
know,
constantly
I
call
know.
Nick Sirianni's job.
Yeah, I know, I know.
You know what I mean?
I was trying to be nice to
No, I
Nick
hear
because
you.
he has had gotten results, but
Yeah,
obviously you'd bring Andy back to be the head coach
yeah.
because I'll tell you what, for me,
Because I'm hearing Mike McDaniel's staying in Miami. I'm hearing he's staying in Miami.
for me, Andy Reid's coaching career will never be complete unless he comes back to Philly and wins the Super Bowl.
Right.
He owes us one. He owes us at least one. I mean, he just. Ugh.
Yeah, he gave us one last year. not the way he wanted.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Not the way he
Well, I
wanted.
mean, dude, if you want to start looking at it like that, you could say Carson Wentz has given us two.
Not the way he wanted. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's funny, man. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we should send Carson a couple of rings.
Was this
Well, he's
always a
got.
four? Was this always a 4 o'clock game?
I believe so. Yeah.
It was. I thought it was a
I
1 o'clock
think
game for
so.
some reason.
I don't remember ever hearing anything about it being
Okay.
switched up.
Okay. Game of the week. Eagles, Bills.
Yeah, I mean, I think it always has been. Yeah, because game of the week. I mean,
Yeah.
at the beginning of the season, I'm sure they thought Buffalo Philly was going to be a big deal this time of year. Now, Wise, look, man, I agree, and Ben and I actually talked about this the very beginning of the season when there was the struggles. We're like, you're telling me in those Eagles offices they don't have all the plays from when Andy Reid was here? Like,
Yeah,
it's called a swipe
dude.
file, my
Yeah,
friend.
right. We were saying
Get
like,
it?
guys, don't you guys have like film? Like,
Yeah, like,
look at what you guys used to do in the past that works. I
I mean,
understand the game's changed. It hasn't changed that
not that
much
much.
because
No,
Andy Reid was such a good offensive coach. It's not like what
right.
he called fucking 10 years ago won't work
Yeah.
today.
Plus, you can take those plays as the foundation, and you can add
Build
new
off it.
wrinkles
Yeah,
to them.
yep,
You
absolutely.
can run them from different formations, whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, Wise. I'm with you 100%, man. It
Hmm.
makes no sense to try and reinvent the wheel, as they say, and not just be like, hey, we've got all this stuff, man, from Andy Reid when he was here 87 years.
Yeah, that's what they try to do. No need to do
Let's
that.
just
Just call the
come
fucking
on.
plays.
Oh my God, man. All right, well, game's coming up soon.
Yep. Wiseman, I appreciate you coming by hanging out with us today,
Yeah,
Wiseman.
thanks, man. It's
Appreciate
always
you,
nice
dude.
always nice to get someone who's going to be active in the comments, man.
Yep, absolutely.
Really do appreciate it.
We
So
do
yeah,
this every Sunday. We do this at 11 o'clock, and then Mondays we do this at 5 o'clock as well. So looking forward
yeah,
to see
we
you come
better be
back, man.
talking about a win
Yeah,
next
yeah,
time. But,
absolutely,
yeah, man.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bill
again,
Walsh, the original.
yeah, again.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't understand.
original West Coast guy, and everything sort of evolved from there.
Yeah,
All right, man.
makes no sense.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, CDS.
We'll talk to y'all later. Go enjoy the game,
Absolutely.
man.